on behalf of the Italian Chamber of Commerce of Ontario, our co-president Pat Pelliccione, our directors, our remarkable staff, and the family of Corrado Paina, I welcome you all here this morning. Thank you for being here and for celebrating with us the remarkable life of our dear friend Corrado Paina. Your presence here this morning is a true testament of Corrado's profound impact on all our lives and our immense respect we hold for him and his family. Today we will be graced with words from Corrado's wife Deborah, alongside sentiments from his friends and colleagues. Additionally, Corrado's daughter Andrea will share a poignant moment with us by reading one of Corrado's cherished poems, after which Pat will conclude with the formal segment of our program and his remarks. Firstly, my sincere condolences to the family, to his wife Deborah, his daughter Andrea, and his son Luca, and to all of you who had the good fortune, the privilege, and the honor of knowing Corrado Paina. Deborah, thank you for sharing him with us. For those of you who are privileged to know Corrado, you are probably aware that he was possessed with a symphony of talents. Not only was Corrado our cherished executive director, he was also a man of intense culture, great intellect, and extraordinary humility. Corrado was a true force of nature, unstoppable, unchallengeable, and most of all, unforgettable. I was quite fortunate because I got to see his boundless creativity, vision, and innovative spirit up close, watching him propel the ICCO to great heights. His knack for fostering cultural and business relationships between Italy and Canada left an extraordinary mark on the landscape of the Italian-Canadian business community. But it was not only his business prowess. Corrado was also an artistic marvel. He excelled as a writer, publishing 3 short stories and 3 novels. His talents extended to poetry, publishing 8 collections. He also possessed an artistic talent through numerous paintings, which you can see on the right here, and other works of art. Corrado was truly a modern-day Renaissance man. In his spare time, when he wasn't writing or painting or contemplating the next big idea, not sure how he had spare time, by the way, he was participating on multiple boards and attending every possible Italian business, cultural, and social event that was taking place in our city. But notwithstanding all of his talents, the trait that I will remember most about Corrado was his profound humility. In a world often characterized by self-promotion and ego, Corrado's humility was a breath of fresh air. Despite all his many achievements and accolades, Corrado remained remarkably humble, never seeking recognition or praise for his contributions. Corrado was never boastful. He did not seek the spotlight, preferring instead to shine it on those around him, always making it a point to acknowledge the contributions of others while downplaying his own. Corrado always made sure that everyone felt valued and appreciated. For us at the ICCO, he was our leader, he was our friend, he was our beacon of light. And I know I speak for all of us when I say that we are all very fortunate to have had the opportunity to collaborate with such an extraordinary man. As a tribute and a thank you to him, we are intensely committed to furthering his legacy and building upon the solid foundation he helped build and leaves behind for us. As we bid farewell to Corrado, let us not mourn his passing, but rather celebrate his incredible life and the profound impact he made on all our lives. Though he may no longer walk among us, his spirit and legacy will forever live in the countless lives he touched and the wonderful memories he leaves behind.
Recording in progress.
I will conclude now, so not to exceed my allotted time, but before I do, I wish to leave you with one final contemplation. Coincidentally, on the topic of time. Corrado taught me, by example, that time is a precious gift bestowed upon us abundantly. Yet it is often filled with a flurry of appointments, deadlines, meetings, and other various tasks. We rush through our days and our lives at breakneck speeds, seldom pausing to truly acquaint ourselves with those we encounter, rarely delving into their essence, and before you realize it, time slips away unnoticed. Corrado understood this truth too well. Despite the whirlwind of his own responsibilities and activities, he consistently found moments to connect, to understand, to genuinely care. Even in the briefest moments, the briefest encounters, he sought to forge a bond demonstrating his sincere concern for others. From my interpretation, Corrado masterfully captured this sentiment when he wrote, "The traveler is a traveler of human beings. He crosses bodies and souls." Corrado, I didn't get a chance to tell you this when you were alive, but it was an enormous privilege and an honor to have collaborated with you, to have been considered your colleague, but most of all, to be considered your friend. Rest in peace. Your light will shine bright in our heart forever. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tony. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. We now have the honor to have a few people who would like to share some thoughts and memories on Corrado and his life. Our first speaker this morning will be Consul General of Italy, Mr. Luca Zioli. Mr. Zioli's tenure in Toronto began in 2022. And during that time, he had the opportunity of collaborating with Corrado on several important projects. Consul General, please, we ask you to come up and say a few words. He's going to say them in Italian for us because we thought that that would be the best for today's event. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Buongiorno a tutti. Non è facile essere qui oggi per ricordare una persona come Corrado Paina, che è stato punto di riferimento per la comunità italo-canadese. Come è stato ricordato, io l'ho conosciuto da relativamente poco tempo, sono arrivato solo a luglio 2022. Però la realtà è che quando si incontra una persona come Corrado, scusate ogni tanto mi si rompe la voce, ma c'è un po' di emozione. Quando si incontra una persona come Corrado, ti sembra di conoscerla da una vita. E vorrei cominciare ricordando, credo che gli farà piacere, l'unico rimprovero che facevo proprio a lui nelle nostre tante conversazioni. Fermati, gli dicevo, con tutte queste idee, sono tutte eccellenti, ma non si può fare tutto subito. Sì, perché Corrado era una specie di vulcano e se non proponeva qualcosa di nuovo nel settore economico, aveva sempre qualcosa di nuovo da propormi in campo culturale e per coinvolgere la comunità. A queste eruzioni di Corrado, con tutte le sue proposte, si univa anche la sua immensa capacità di relazionarsi con le persone. E direi che era nato per fare rete, come si dice qui, per fare networking. E la cosa più bella è che al contempo era sempre e comunque disponibile ad aiutare chiunque glielo chiedesse. È stato un instancabile, abile tessitore di relazioni, ha dato un contributo eccezionale a fare diventare la Camera di Commercio Italiana in Ontario un potente strumento di collaborazione economica tra i due paesi. E per comprendere questo suo ruolo chiave basta ricordare anche alcune delle sue iniziative, degli eventi che ha contribuito, ha voluto fortemente creare, come la Pentola d'Oro, il Next Generation, Excellence Award, e poi il progetto finale su cui stava lavorando, che è il progetto Camera, cioè creare la nuova modernissima sede della Camera di Commercio all'Italia. E poi aveva questo lato, è stato ricordato, artistico, poeta, pittore, scrittore, ma anche grande sostenitore della cultura, e in particolare nel segno della valorizzazione degli artisti italo-canadesi. E insieme stavamo dando vita a un progetto proprio in questo campo. E volevamo mettere insieme tutto ciò che la nostra diaspora ha lasciato di artistico monumentale ad una città come Toronto. L'iniziativa si chiama Itinerario Italiano Toronto, come con Corrado avevamo convenuto, e sicuramente noi continueremo a lavorare per realizzarlo. Corrado è stato un grande italiano e un grande canadese. E non c'è nessuna contraddizione, anzi direi che proprio queste due, chiamiamole anime, si complementavano e si rafforzavano a vicenda, scusate. E non a caso, su proposta del Consolato, il signor Presidente della Repubblica lo ha insignito di un altissimo titolo, quello di Commendatore dell'Ordine della Stella d'Italia. Lo dico pubblicamente, anche se purtroppo non è stato possibile organizzare il pubblico riconoscimento che meritava. Ci penseremo, lo faremo comunque anche per ricordarlo. Purtroppo la maledetta malattia è stata più veloce. Credo anche giusto, che voi sapete che per conto dell'ambasciata il consolato siede come membro osservatore anche nel board della Camera di Commercio, credo che sia giusto che anche attraverso la Camera si possa, ed è una proposta che poi vedremo se si potrà realizzare, ma la proposta è quella di ricordare quanto fatto in vita da Corrado in modo, diciamo così, più continuativo, dare continuità a questa eredità che ha lasciato. Si potrebbe per esempio intitolare a lui una delle iniziative a cui teneva di più, come lo Young Generation Excellence in the World, oppure addirittura creare un premio a lui intitolato. Ma adesso mi accingo a chiudere e voglio rivolgermi proprio a Corrado. Caro amico, anche già a tutti noi, a tutta la comunità, basta vedere quante persone sono qui e non credo solo alla comunità italo-canadese. Io rinnovo anche la mia personale vicinanza e anche quella di mia moglie, a Deborah e a tutti i familiari. Il nostro lutto è anche il vostro lutto. Scusate l'evento. Grazie.
Thank you, Consul General, for those heartfelt words. We'd like now to extend a warm welcome to Senator Tony Barone. Tony, our Senator Barone, was a very close friend of Corrado's, and we're very pleased that he's going to be saying a few words today. Tony, Senator.
Thank you, Ben. The operative word here is a few words. Hard to match the speakers before me, but you know, Corrado was an icon of the Toronto Italian Canadian community. He played such an instrumental role in my personal journey to the Senate. Without him, I know the road would have been rockier and the journey much longer. The passing of Corrado, who led the Italian Chamber of Commerce, leaves a void that would be hard to fill. It was a big brain, a big heart, and a bountiful soul. You know, he was a poet, an artist, a writer, and by complete contrast, was a man that understood the importance of commerce. Yes, Tony, he was a true Renaissance man. Corrado's passing is a great loss, not only for the Italian Chamber of Commerce, but for the entire community at large. His dedication to business growth, community development, philanthropy has left a lasting impact that will be remembered for years to come. Our thoughts and prayers are with Corrado's family, his friends, his colleagues, and all those who have been touched by his kindness and generosity. May his legacy serve as an inspiration for others to continue the important work of supporting art, culture, and commerce. In this difficult time, let us all come together to celebrate the life and achievements of this remarkable individual. His contributions have enriched the lives of so many, and his spirit will forever be remembered with gratitude and respect. I will miss you dearly, my friend. Rest in peace.
Thank you very much, Senator Baroni. Thank you for your friendship to Corrado and for your heartfelt words this morning. We now would like to extend an invitation to Minister Filomena Tassi to join us on stage. Minister Tassi has served as the Member of Parliament for Hamilton West Ancaster Dundas since 2015, dedicating herself to the betterment of our community with unwavering commitment and passion, and someone whom Corrado held in great esteem. Please, Minister Tassi.
Buongiorno a tutti. I can't tell you how honored I am to have been asked or invited to say a few words. On behalf of myself and my colleagues, some of who have joined me here, Marco Mendocino and Francesco Sorbera. Today we gather to celebrate the life of a remarkable individual, Corrado Paina, a poet, a writer, a painter, a peacemaker, and a promoter of friends. Corrado was a visionary, a leader and a beacon of light to all who had the privilege of knowing him. Corrado, un amico, una luce per tutti, quelli che lo conoscevano. Corrado will be remembered as a man dedicated to our Italian-Canadian community. As a stalwart member of the Italian Chamber of Commerce of Ontario, he brought unwavering commitment to fostering economic growth and strengthening the ties between Canada and Italy. And I have to tell you that I witnessed that firsthand. And while he was an unmatched promoter of all things Italy, he was also a very proud Canadian. Corrado was a pillar of strength and kindness. His warmth and generosity touched the lives of countless individuals, offering guidance, support, and engagement along the way. He was a humble and tireless leader. My colleague Francesco describes him as a gentleman for all ages. Judy Sproul reminds us that the Milan office would not be there today if it were not for Corrado. And Marco describes Corrado as a friend to all of us, a champion for the Italian community, and above all, a proud friend, father, and husband. Everyone had something wonderful to say about Corrado. And I must mention his Hamilton roots, being a lifelong Hamiltonian. I know it was a place he visited regularly and looked forward to those Sunday dinners, Deborah, with you and your family. I know how much he enjoyed those. I know the importance of family for Corrado. Every time I've seen him over the past couple of years, he inquired about my family and specifically my husband. And he didn't simply ask about my husband. He looked right into my eyes, giving me his full attention and waiting for the answer. He cared. He listened intently. I felt it, and that meant so much to me. That is the man that Corrado was. And I know that such compassion and attention could only come from a man that was truly rooted in family, that loved his family deeply. So my condolences to the family. I know you are feeling deep loss as we celebrate today. However, today, let us focus on celebrating this amazing life. That's what Corrado would want us to do, the legacy that he leaves behind. Let us think about how blessed each and every one of us are for having the opportunity to know Corrado and to be in his presence. And let us carry forward his vision of collaboration, innovation, inclusivity, bringing people together. As a testimony and a love to Corrado, let us try to better live out his gifts, and may his influence continue to inspire us to reach for the stars and strive for excellence in every endeavor. Corrado, I know that you are still with us, albeit in a different way. We offer our deepest gratitude and hold in our hearts the fond memories you have provided to each and every one of us. May you rest in peace, enjoying your eternal reward. You will be forever missed and never forgotten. Grazie.
Thank you, Minister Tassi. Thank you for those wonderful words and memories of Corrado. As you may have gathered by now, Corrado was a man of many talents, one of which was his poetry. And we are honored today to have Andrea, Corrado's daughter, read one of his poems called Souls in Plain Clothes. Andrea?
Thank you all so much for being here. The speeches are so beautiful. I've managed to keep the tears until now, but you all really moved me, so thank you. I just want to preface this poem by saying this was a poem my dad wrote for his father, and he read it for my mother when her father died, and he read it for all his friends when their fathers died, and so I thought I'd continue the tradition and read it for him. Souls in Plain Clothes. Corrado, on your behalf, I was searching through the waters of this peremptory injury in the earth, and in an armistice between life and death, I wrote you a poem, a letter, that you will never read, though not everyone will agree. I was sitting on a crest of a rock among many people looking for whales, the tail, the flipper, the spurt. You would have spent hours breathing loudly and praising the smell of this salty river. Why are all these seekers here, stalking a miracle to be healed, to be first to spot the whales? The opposite bank is so far that I feel I am still banned from crossing. I am alive, Corrado, and I can see the whales with your eyes. And your name is on the waters, each wave carrying a name, the names of the dead. At last we see a spraying wave, an effervescent soul knocking at our memory. Are all the waves souls in disguise, traveling souls in plain clothes, waves in flesh and bones? We all stand trying to recognize our lost dear ones, all united and yet alone. I just want to say that as his daughter, and I'm speaking on behalf of my brother here as well, his loss is huge and hard for all of us. But he's left us so much. He's left us community, and he's left us his poetry, and he's left us all his beautiful art. And I think as kids and as a community, we're so lucky that he showed us every part of himself, the dark parts, the light parts, the fun parts, the serious parts, the artistic parts, the business parts. And he was a man that was humble but cared about legacy. And I want to thank you all for helping us carry on man's legacy. He'll be dearly missed. So thank you all so much for coming and for carrying it on. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. That was touching. It was a great tribute to your dad. At this time, I would like to invite Tiziana Tedesco, the Deputy Director of the ICCO Canada, and long time colleague of Corrado's. Tiziana and Corrado, you've worked together for at least 20 years, right? Tiziana, if I'm correct in that exchange, probably. At the same time, as Tiziana will come up and just say a few words, we'd like to have the ICCO staff come up as well with Tiziana just to support her with her speech. So Tiziana. Please.
Good morning. Today we're here to pay tribute to a businessman and a colleague that was unique in his role. Corrado's working life has always been infused and influenced by his true passions, arts and poetry, among many others. Many events and programs of Eco-Canada reflected, one way or another, all his passions, that in Corrado was strictly interwoven. Personally, I've worked with Corrado for the past 23 years. My professional experience evolved and was defined by the work we did together and the things I learned from him. There are so many thoughts that my colleagues and I could share about working with Corrado. But we can all agree that some of our working lunches were a lot more than a short break, during which we would talk about the latest movies, theater performances, book publications, and everything in between. From politics to history to architecture to traveling around the world and so much more. Corrado always took the time to engage in conversation with us and share his and our thoughts together. Corrado always had a great ability to think outside the box, which many times resulted in extraordinary projects and events, his ultimate vision being camera. He encouraged us to do the same. Working with Corrado has been a privilege for myself and for my colleagues at Eco-Canada. Corrado will be irreplaceable, but his management style allowed us to grow professionally and build our own business personalities, and therefore we're determined as a team to continue his work and his legacy and accompany the Italian Chamber of Commerce through its next step going forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tiziana, and everyone at the ICCO. Corrado's dedication to the ICCO Canada is truly evident in the impact he left on all of you. There's no doubt his legacy will continue to inspire our work. It's now my great honor to call up Deborah Orginelli, Corrado's wife, to share some words with us. Deborah.
Thank you all for being here. I am a simple man, you told me. I laughed. Love, you are far from a simple man. You are Baroque. He was not like any man I had ever met. Corrado collected things: teacups, art, shoes, books, vinyl. He was eclectic and discerning. And just as easily as he collected that thing, he would give it away. He was the best gift giver. Corrado was curious about people. He wanted meaning. He was disarming in his ability to have real conversations. I think he was incapable of banalities, and I don't mean that he was always heavy, serious, or intellectual. He was really fun. He was fun to travel with, to thrift shop with. Hunting for treasure was a passion of his. To look at paintings with, to talk about anything. Celebrity gossip, Renaissance art, heavy metal, politics. Corrado needed to create art, poetry, friendships that crossed borders and politics and economics. He needed to create ideas and legacies. What I mistakenly thought of as Baroque was a veracity for experience, immediacy. What I thought was Baroque was a simple need to live every moment amplified, to crack himself open and be known to those around him. Like my daughter said, I tell my children how lucky they are to have had a father, not a traditional Disney father that sometimes I wanted for them. They didn't have that. But a father that really, really wanted them to know who he was, even the shadows. He documented everything, thank goodness. I used to tease him about that, thinking it was simply vanity, but it was legacy. He documented every moment, even the illness. He documented his beauty, his poetry, his ideas, his pain, and his doubts. He wrote, "Dawn ought to have your eyes. Fog ought to have your smile. Leaves ought to have your skin. I kneel in front of this world, which exists only for me, and I pray it remains one." I don't know how to thank everyone, but I will try, and please forgive me and my grief if I haven't left anyone out. But I really have to thank the Chamber for the celebration of an amazing life, Corrado's life. A life I don't yet comprehend how I will begin to miss. Corrado loved Italy and loved Canada, and he loved this organization. He loved helping it grow. He loved shaping it, expanding it, bringing it to different places, including people in it that might not normally have been within its walls. Community leaders, poets, developers, professionals, musicians, they all sat beside each other at events. He was so adept at introductions, putting people at ease, putting people together, giving everyone a seat at the table. Thank you, Tony, and thank you, Pat, for your unwavering faith in his work, your guidance, and deep friendship. To Enrico for the hospital visits, phone calls, exhortations for future projects, and for his deep friendship. Thank you to his beloved colleagues, past and present. I see you all here. Some of them have slept at our house when the Chamber was so much a part of our lives at the very beginning. All the students that passed through our doors and had dinners with us. Thank you so much. To the incredible staff, incredible staff. His admiration for you and your work was real, humble, filled with gratitude. Because he knew that it was because of your work, because of your willingness to follow him on any path, that successes were achieved. And thank you to all for your deep friendships. Thank you to all the speakers and to all of you who have shared memories with us. My family and I thank you. Thank you for being here to celebrate Corrado Paina, for sharing your stories of him with us, for the outpouring of messages that have eased our grief, and made us so grateful for his life. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. Your strength and grace is truly inspiring. And your words are a beautiful testament to Corrado's life. Thank you for allowing us to celebrate his life alongside you and your family today. Thank you, Deborah. It's now my honor to call up on the stage our last speaker, someone who is a dear friend, colleague, and the co-president of the Italian Chamber of Commerce. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Pat Pelliccione. Thank you.
It's kind of hard to make a speech after all those beautiful speeches and all the love that everybody showed to Corrado. I took some time yesterday to put a few words down, and as I was reminded heartily by my other fellow board members to be short or they're going to pull me off the stage. So I'll start now, and hopefully I'm going to read it. It's from the heart. Hopefully we get the message. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve in this capacity, working with Corrado Paina, the ICCO Board of Directors, and the ICCO staff. Today, I have been granted the opportunity to speak to all of you in recognition of Corrado Paina. First, once again, I would like to offer my family's heartfelt condolences to Corrado's family, Deborah, Andrea, and Luca. Your husband, Deborah, and your father, Andrea and Luca, was a legend in my eyes. I always considered the ICCO to be Corrado's transparent mistress that Corrado shared with his original family. On behalf of the ICCO, I would like to apologize to all of you for taking up so much of Corrado's time. However, when I reflect on the ICCO taking up so much of Corrado's time, I know that Corrado was very happy in pushing his objectives forward for the ICCO. I've never met a man so driven with passion to accomplish his goals and the goals of the organization that he embodied. A leadership coach and speaker, John C. Maxwell, has written, "A great leader who has the courage to fulfill his vision comes from passion and not position." When I look around the room today, I'm pleased to see that so many of us have come to celebrate Corrado's life. There's not a person in this room that Corrado has not touched upon, whether it was for assistance, advice, or even the occasional request or occasional donation. Corrado was there for all of us. Corrado was a great teacher and leader. Testimony to this statement can be seen in the ICCO staff that Corrado has assembled and the ICCO Board of Directors that Corrado has assembled. All of us know our responsibilities, and we are engaged to fulfill these responsibilities because we know our leader and our mentor would expect this from all of us. Corrado always gave more than 100% with everything he did. Corrado, as we all know, was an accomplished poet, artist, and author. I was amazed to see all the literature that Corrado published and the artwork he created. I was very proud that he shared all of this ability with us. I also believe that Corrado never slept. Furthermore, I think that it's only fitting that I speak about Corrado and his ability to navigate governments both domestically and internationally. I would say, just speaking off the record, it's a tribute to have all our dignitary politicians here today to celebrate Corrado's legacy and his passion to build Canadian and Italian relations. Corrado was one of the few people that I've ever seen who was able to transcend all levels of governments in Canada. Whether there was a matter involving the municipal government, provincial, federal level of the Canadian government, Corrado was able to execute and offer services and advice. Corrado was also a fixture with Asso Camerestro and the many regional governments within Italy. Dealing with the Italians has proven to be difficult for many, but Corrado made things look really easy. I know that I could speak all day about Corrado. I also realize that all of you have been very patient today, and I thank you for that. I would like to briefly mention that Corrado's vision to create the new Camera was the last project that Corrado worked on prior to his passing. All the directors and the staff of the ICCO are fundamentally committed to fulfilling Corrado's vision and creating his legacy to complete the Camera that Corrado envisioned. To conclude, once again, I'd like to offer my condolences to Corrado's family. I'd like to thank all of you for attending this celebration of life for Corrado today. I would also like to say goodbye in this life to my dear friend Corrado. I'm proud to have served with you to better the ICCO and to better life for Italian Canadians. We all miss you greatly. I only wish that you rest now as you've put in enough time fulfilling all of your accomplishments in this world. Thank you for being our friend, and thank you once again to everyone. Thank you.
See, Pat pushes around to do all the work around here. Just like to take a few minutes to thank everyone who made this celebration of life event for Corrado possible today. Thank you to the following people: Consul General Luca Zarioli, Canadian Senator Tony Veroni, Minister Filomena Tassi, Tiziana Tedesco, and the entire Italian Chamber of Commerce staff: Ilaria, Astrid, Marco, Alessandro, Lavinia. I don't know who else I missed. I hope I didn't miss anybody. If I did, my apologies. I said Alessandro, yes. Okay. I also like to thank our board, our ICCO board, and if I could just please ask our directors that are here today to just come up on the stage, or at least come up up front here, and recognize and thank you formally.
Tremendously work with. As I previously stated, Corrado assembled it. It's a large board, there's almost 20 of us. And the events today and the events over the last couple of months have all been developed and organized by the board. The staff executes, but the board develops our principles and putting events like this together, continuing events like the Next Generation BEA Award, and the future event that will come up, the BEAs at the end of this month, are all derived from the people around the room. Conversations at board meetings are stimulating, and a lot of diverse opinions are given, but these are the people who will be responsible to help to drive and deliver Corrado's full vision of a Camera and continue with his legacy. So I'd like to thank them all on behalf of Tony and myself. It's been a pleasure to work with all of them, and I will continue. Thank you.
Just to tie up on that, this is not part of the program today, but I know Flavio wants to say a few words, so I'm just going to Flavio.
Thanks, and I'll be very short. Corrado was a dear friend of all of ours. He had a wicked sense of humor. He was a funny guy. It was always a good time when he was around. So beautiful sentiments, wonderful that the family allowed us to share this with you. When the formalities are done here, let's tell those funny Corrado stories, because we could be here all day long. We love him, we miss him, and I got a great one from Milan where it looked like he pulled his suit jacket out of his pocket. It was really wrinkled. And me and Tony LaMattia, do you remember that, Tony? And we went in to close the deal, and I said to Corrado, come and take that net. He goes, did we close the deal? We closed the deal. He took us to see The Last Supper. and we had a great day with him that day. And that was Corrado. We loved him. Condolences, and please celebrate him. Thank you.
Thank you, Flavio. Those are very nice stories. It's nice to hear the different anecdotes that everybody went through Corrado. I think everybody has a story with Corrado. Just as an aside, yesterday I was speaking to someone on the phone who was telling me all the stories Corrado would tell them when they went for the train from Milan to Rome, and every stop he knew about the churches and about all the things that were going on there. So it was great to be with Corrado. Just a couple more thank yous. Thank you to Senator Veroni and Monte Cassino Event Group for their support of today's event and for supporting Corrado's celebration of life. There's some breakfast in the corner, some croissants and things. Please partake in those before you leave. There is a book of condolences here, or a register for you guys to sign. If you wouldn't mind signing that before you left. And thank you to everybody for coming. And a special thank you to Deborah, Andrea, and Luca for sharing this day with us and allowing us to be here today. It's been an honor for us. And thank you to all of you for attending. We appreciate it. It's a testament to Corrado and the importance he was for all of us. And one last thing, I want to thank those who are watching via live stream or Zoom link. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us this morning. Thanks to everyone. Safe travels. Have a nice day. Thank you again.
How's the soccer going?
We're going to continue.
I know.
Because he's calling to say, what do you think? Luca. Yes. I just sent you.
Oh, you're so gorgeous, so strong.
So beautiful.
Thank you for calling us to kind of let us know that the
I'm so happy Flavio. Yeah, because you know what? He was so funny. He was so funny. He was such a
up with the best place to meet it. Your mother used to live with you, or you guys lived with them when you first came together. They lived together with your mother. My mother, was it her mother? Who used to keep one of the rules as
ha lasciato un sacco di amici in Lice, c'è Dato Celizzullo che lo ricorda sempre, quindi veramente tantissimo.
I know this is so difficult time, right, all the memories you have, pretty simple.
That's all, that was really I got all these things.
Take care, Deborah.
I just want to give my condolences. I know him for like 20 years. Ariani. Yeah, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Are you?
I wish it was great. Twice. My grandmother's great. Jesus.
Awesome.
20 years.
I love it.
My condolences.
I did too, and then to get back to the bars and restaurants. Yeah, I was talking about it. have fun with that idea.
So we can discuss how you want to do it. But I'll do whatever you want. I'll do whatever you, Who's in our car?
My youngest son. Oh, he's in his second year. Sono mio figlio.
No, I've been thinking about it really seriously.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I
Getting experience. It's like thrown into like nowadays, right? Just thrown into the like thing. Mamma mia. Okay. Well, you know, Alessandro works in the trade department for us. She used to work.
You know, he was someone that I wish I connected